let's do it in a different way. I want to do it in a different way here with you guys. So first you need a controller. You need a control. You need a model, which yes, a model. Let's call this model. So just need the code called Nest generate model, which is the block that we're going to use. Let's call it chatbot. That's a little bit different from how I did it, because it's going to be chatbot. So essentially, when I said about installing the CLI, that's what CLI is doing. CLI is responsible for making all this kind of administration. So if you come here, you have a new folder called a new folder. But I want as well to have a service. I have a model. I have a service. I have a controller. Called the chatbot, because I wanted to. I don't know what's happening. Sorry, I think I forgot the command here. So let me show you guys. I think I have a command here. I'm going to make all this command available for you guys on our Gitbook. Don't know why. So let's go here on the documentation, official documentation of Nest.js. Documentation controller. Here, I totally recommend you guys to also use the official documentation. They are very good documentation. So for you to create, I was going to use this one here, which is called Nest.js resource. They create everything for you. But if you want to, what mistake? Well, it was correct. No, Nest generated controller. Yes, it was correct. I don't know why it's not working. Yes, it was just a mistake, a very small mistake. So, what's the controller? Let me create as well a service. Service. So, how does it work? One interesting thing that you should see that I didn't have to tell the CLI where it should put the files. Once I use the same name, I think it was very interesting of the CLI, very smart of them. Once I keep the same name for all of them, they automatically is going to go to put me in the same folder. So I don't need to tell the CLI which folder you should use. I think that's what is very smart. So keep the same name, so they want to put the same folder. So let me explain briefly for you guys in those what's here inside. So what I have created, I create a model, which is the block. You may think that the model is a block, is how you organize. You don't need to create several models. It's up to you. You can use just the default one. You see, there's a default one here, app model. This is the most important one. So what it did, it essentially, it is as you see, it was imported as well automatically for you inside the default one. The default one is the most important one, but you can, for organization purpose, because you want to organize, create as well blocks. Think that each model is a box tool full of stuff inside there. In our case, I have a model to be responsible just to make the chat. Why I'm doing that? I'm doing that because I think you can even create an API that has several functions. You don't need to be restricted to ChatGPT. You can create a smart API with several machine learning techniques. So it doesn't matter for the user, as long as you are, for example, if you have an API based on TensorFlow.js, for example, it's a very smart way as well to. And nowadays, it's becoming very common to they are making available large language model. I have seen around Twitter several examples of people claiming that now they can train large language model based on tools that are freely available. So it means that if you are smart enough to implement one of those tools, one of this technique, you can easily use them as a you can easily use them as a how could I say as a you can easily use them as a like ChatGPT, because once you have an API, it doesn't matter for the person using the API what's behind your API, as long as you kind of have it's a kind of smart. So what I have here, I have a ChatGPT model, which is the most important. Then I have a service. A service on Nest.js is where you keep the logic. A service can be used by other programs. So whenever you have something that is common, is shared between, say, everyone share the same function. Generally, that's how you use the service. The controller is how you are going to connect if you're from outside, as the chat.